I'll come back to you. I want to bring Dean also in the conversation. Now, Dean, that really is the question. It was almost for the first time that you'd seen a leader, a public leader, a prime minister come out in the open and make such grave public allegations without any credible proof. Just a day or two ago, you in fact had the Canadian foreign minister also question exactly that from the 18th of September till now, what is the kind of proof that Canada has been able to put forth? And the foreign minister had no answers. So what gives Canada today the moral high ground to still continue, keep pushing forward these allegations?
Well, thank you very much for having me on again today. Listen, this is a very, very complex issue at this particular juncture in time. I think that the Canadian government, through both diplomatic and intelligence channels, had reached out very specifically about these allegations and specifically about the intelligence that they had on this particular murder, going back to July and August, and those discussions did take place. The fact that Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of our country, decided to bring it forward in the House of Commons when no action seemed to be taken, or certainly not being taken seriously by the Canadian government, has led to this significant diplomatic row. We must realize that all of us are allies together, and we need to work together to find a resolution to this matter that does not further aggravate the two parties, and that we work closer together to achieve our mutual aims and goals geopolitically. And this is not being done right now. We have serious concerns here in Canada that the Modi government is using this as a political, to score political points inside India, as did Justin Trudeau attempt to do so on the other side, which I wrote about in the Sunday Guardian.
Yeah, that's exactly the point that I wanted to get to. Till now, as I pointed out a short while ago, it's been difficult for us to understand what really prompted Justin Trudeau and the administration to come forward and make these serious allegations. So I have two concerns that I want to understand before I bring in the other guests. One, as you said, is it now almost amply clear that these are just domestic political compulsions that have led the Justin Trudeau government to make the allegations of these sorts? That's one. The other is, if you go back in time, and if I understand this correctly, there has been a lot of back and forth communication before this episode between India and Canada, where a lot of intel and intelligence, in fact, has been discussed and disclosed as well. If Canada had so much intel and intelligence of possible India's involvement as far as any extremist elements was concerned, why was none of this flagged off much earlier in time, rather than to come out and make these public allegations without any credible proof?
Once again, I think these discussions took place in Delhi and in Ottawa between diplomats well before the Prime Minister went public with this. Also, I would suggest that there is very few people that I have spoken with on the subject that are former, involved with policing, etc., that believe that there is not some, truth and credibility to the allegations that the Prime Minister was making. And further to that, we should understand that the Prime Minister, we have an ongoing RCMP investigation that involves multiple agencies inside Canada about the murder, and certainly he's not going to bring that forward publicly to, again, embarrass the Indian government at this point.
Okay. I want to bring in Ashok Sajjanar also in the conversation. Ashok Sajjanar, how do you see the responses that have come in from the United Kingdom and the USA, both saying, quote unquote, we're very concerned with what's happening. This withdrawal of diplomats should have not happened. This is a flouting of Vienna Convention. India, in fact, has set the record straight. But how do you see these reactions?
Yes, thank you very much, Ridhima, for having me. Before I respond to your question, let me respond to, what Mr. Dean Baxendale has said, that Canada did not wish to embarrass the Indian government. I think there could not have been a bigger embarrassment than for the Prime Minister of a friendly country to rise up in the parliament and accuse another country without any evidence in his possession. And, you have been saying, Ridhima, that it's from 19th or 18th of September.
Yeah.
Actually, it is 18th of June that the investigations have been going on.
True.
And till date, there has not been a charge sheet filed. There has been no one arrested. We don't know how the investigation, it's already more than 4 months.
Yeah.
And, as far as the credibility of the allegations, so to say, our external affairs minister has very categorically, not on one occasion, but on several occasions, said that if we had received anything specific and relevant, and these are the words that he used,
True.
that if we received anything, we will definitely look at it. So,
Yeah.
for any one of the two, whether it is the United States or for the United Kingdom, to say that India should collaborate, should cooperate with Canada, meaning what do you expect us to do?
Yeah.
You have not given us any evidence whatsoever. And also, I think let's look at it that if there is any intelligence, intelligence in a court of law, all of us are democracies.
True.
All of us know how the legal systems work. It is the job of the law enforcement authorities, investigating authorities, to take care of this.
Yeah.
If you have some intelligence, that intelligence is not fit enough even to file a charge sheet. Alone
I agree with the
convict
point
someone.
that you're making.
The
Even
last point,
even when the case started,
last point I want to make.
Yeah.
Last point I want to make, Ridhima, is that what we have stated, meaning this is we are entirely
Sure.
on board as far as international law and rules are concerned. What we have said is that the additional number of Canadian diplomats,
Yeah.
they are interfering in the internal affairs of India.
Yeah.
And that's a very serious charge.
Yeah.
That is, something that has not been responded. And the second part, and that's the final thing.
I agree with the point that Mr. Ashok Sajjanar is making, that one, why is Canada not talking about the credible proof and investigation, and also the investigation that is happening on home soil? And